go, go, go!
God, man! I can feel shards hitting me!
Tornado on the ground. Whoa, is that intense?
Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome to the video. Today's vehicle is absolutely one of the coolest vehicles on the planet, and that's Flash, the Tornado Hunter's 2015 F-150. And I'm joined now by Chris Chittick. And Chris, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about what you guys do and a little bit about that sweet looking truck?
For sure, man. So pretty much we're tornado hunters. We're storm chasers. You know, we go after different kinds of extreme weather as far as like tornadoes, hurricanes. Hurricane season's coming up.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the border is closed for us, looking like it's supposed to open the end of this month, but
yeah,
who really knows? Yeah, man. So this is a truck. We go out. It's definitely Line-X'd up. That gives us that extra protection.
Yep.
We can punch through a hail core. We can punch through, have debris flying at the truck. Rollover cage. The whole back end is kind of compartmentalized for like tripods, camera equipment.
Okay. Yep.
Inside the truck, you know, it's kind of like a rolling production, so to speak. So we have camera mounts all over the place, audio. We have a laptop stand, so we can constantly be looking at radar.
Yep.
And yeah, so unfortunately the border's being closed. We're chasing north of the border now here in Canada, and it's just kind of firing up now. So we've been out a couple times, beautiful looking storms.
Yeah.
Nothing really produced a tornado for us yet, but like I said, it's the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
So
well, hopefully you guys will have a good season.
Yeah,
and,
man.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to getting started on the truck today, and I can't wait for you to see what I'm done. So.
Well, good luck. It's a little dirty.
Yeah, that's how I like it.
All right.
All right, guys, so taking a look around Flash, and one of the super unique things about this truck is that it's coated entirely with Line-X from front to back, so there's no paint to deal with anywhere on this truck. And obviously, as you guys can see, the truck is pretty dirty all around, including the wheels and tires. And then there's also quite a few bug guts on the front end and up on the roll cage. But besides how dirty it is, this truck has a lot of unique features and equipment that are going to take some extra time to get clean. And now moving to the inside, and as you can imagine, with the guys spending a ton of time chasing extreme weather in this truck, it's taken a bit of a beating. So despite having rubber floor mats, the carpets are still pretty dirty. There's dust covering almost every surface, and then quite a bit of debris all around the truck too. And then just like Chris mentioned, the truck is basically a rolling production studio. So there's camera mounts, wires, inverters, power bars, and tons of other equipment all around the vehicle that I'll need to work around. But just before we jump into this epic detail, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and that you've got the bell on so you never miss out on one of my future videos. All right, guys, well, needless to say, I'm pretty excited to get started on this detail today, get this truck all cleaned up. So as always, sit back, relax, and enjoy. All right, so starting on the pre-wash rinse here, and for obvious reasons, I'm washing outside today as the truck sits nearly 8 feet tall with the roll cage on there, so washing inside the garage wouldn't have worked very well. And if you notice what look like bullet holes on the doors here, they're actually rivet holes from the old Tornado Hunter logo that used to be riveted to the truck. And while you guys were introduced to Chris in the opening, sadly the other members of the team, Greg Johnson and Ricky Forbes, weren't able to make it today, but I know they'll be pretty pumped to have a nice clean truck to start their season with. Now moving to the back here, and you'll notice the license plate is still on, and really that's only because when I went to take it off, one of the screws was stripped and it wasn't budging. But after getting everything sprayed off, I could still see some dirt behind it that was driving me crazy. So I grabbed some tools, took a few minutes, and did manage to get that screw out. So hopefully that answers the question that I'm sure a number of you had. Now I'm sure some of you are wondering how exactly you go about dealing with a fully Line-X truck, and honestly it really doesn't change much. Only thing is that I can actually get way closer with the pressure washer as I don't have to worry about damaging it, and then later when I wash it, I'll still use my wash mitt just with a bit more pressure, or alternatively you can also use a degreaser and stiff brush if it's really dirty. Line-X is pretty indestructible stuff and can certainly take a beating, but unfortunately it does look like there was some gas that was spilled and ran out from the gas door here, which you can't see when it's wet, but later when the truck is dry, you will be able to see the stains, so it's definitely not impervious to chemicals. Moving to the front wheel wells, and unfortunately these aren't Line-X like the rear ones are and are actually carpeted. So despite otherwise being a super cool truck, it does have one tiny little flaw, at least in my books anyways. Now the easiest way to get these door jambs clean is to spray them out with a pressure washer, and for anyone out there who might be leery of doing this, just get nice and close with the wand and keep a steep angle, and if you're careful, you can absolutely keep the interior dry and save yourself a ton of time. Alright, now moving to the foam bath, and I'm using some of this Adams Mega Foam, and I've actually used this in the last several videos, and so far have been really happy with how thick the foam is. Now with Flash all foamed up, I'll go around with my boar's hair detail brush and agitate in all the crevices that my wash mitt will miss, like the emblems behind the gas door, the front end where most of the bug guts were, and of course up on the roll cage as there were some bugs on the light bar too. Alright, moving to these dirty floor mats, and once I've got all the loose dirt sprayed off them, I'll use some all-purpose cleaner diluted 4:1, agitate with the drill brush, and then just simply blast them clean. Now moving to the interior, and the first thing I need to do here is get all the loose stuff removed, and believe me, there was a lot. Pretty well every storage compartment was full, so there were all kinds of camera mounts, GoPro batteries, SD cards, tools, and all kinds of other stuff that the guys would need when they're out on the road chasing down tornadoes. Now, as there's a ton of dust underneath, I'm also going to remove these pieces of felt on the dash, which the guys use to reduce the reflection when they're filming through the windshield. And you'll see they're attached with double-sided tape, so between that and all the other equipment in here, there's quite a few things I'm gonna have to work around today. All right, now getting started on vacuuming, and one of the things I went over with Chris when he dropped the truck off was what I was able to remove and what should stay in terms of the equipment in here. And while he did tell me it was okay to move a few things around, I did want to be respectful, and even though it may have been easier from a cleaning standpoint to just unhook all the wires and completely remove things, I obviously didn't want to break anything or create any extra work for him if something wasn't put back in correctly. So my philosophy here is going to be only move what is absolutely necessary to get things clean and work around everything else. Now, as I move up to the driver's footwell here, I figured it was a good time to give you some info and background on Flash, this extreme storm chasing truck. And the first thing is that it's got over 360,000 kilometers on it, which is about 224,000 miles. So for it only being 5 years old, that's a ton of driving. It's intercepted over 50 tornadoes, visited 29 states in the US, and had over a dozen windshields destroyed by large hail and debris. Needless to say, this truck has been put to good use over the years and seen some pretty wild stuff. Now, as I work my way around the truck with a boar's hair detail brush, I'll use it to help lift all the dust out of all the crevices. And then for the more sensitive plastics, I'll switch over to the ultra soft one. But for down in the air vents, where I need a little bit more agitating ability, I'll switch back to the boar's hair. Now, getting started on the carpets here, and despite this truck having rubber floor mats, there was some dirt that made its way underneath and a few stains to deal with, so getting some of my Chemical Guys lightning fast carpet solution that's diluted 20:1 sprayed down, I'll then hit it with the soft white drill brush to loosen everything up, and then simply start making passes with the extractor, spraying water to help further dilute the remaining solution. And if you're curious what extractor I'm using here, it's Abyssal Spot Clean Professional, and it's something I would highly recommend for anyone who enjoys detailing their own vehicle, as it does an incredible job on carpets and seats and really can't be beat for the price. So if any of you are interested, the link to it is down in the description for you. Now another thing I asked Chris was how often the truck is cleaned and when it was cleaned last for it to be this dirty on the inside. And he said that him and the guys usually split the cleaning duties evenly, and they do it pretty regularly throughout the season, as the outside can get really dirty going down wet and muddy back roads all the time. But at least for the interior, it was done about 2 months ago, although I think it's safe to say the carpets haven't been extracted for quite a bit longer than that. Now in the driver's footwell here, the area right underneath the pedals was pretty heavily soiled, so I'm going ahead and adding more solution and repeating the whole process so that I can get as much of that dirt out as possible. Here's all the dirty water pulled out of Flash, and if it could talk, I'm sure there would be a good story behind every bit of it. Now, like I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of things in here I have to work around, like camera mounts, microphones, and of course this double-sided tape. And as you can imagine, the perfectionist in me would love to remove the tape and get all the glue residue off and make it perfect again, but unfortunately I'll have to settle for just getting things clean, as the truck was built to serve a purpose, and at the end of the day, that's what matters most. Now turning to these dirty pedals here, and if you're wondering what steamer I'm using, it's a McCulloch MC1375, and this can make quick work of any sort of crud or grime. So if any of you are in the market for one, the link is in the description for you, along with nearly every other product and tool I use, and this is definitely a unit that I would recommend picking up. Moving to the leather now, and I'm using some Meguiar's D181 leather cleaner and a soft horsehair brush to agitate, and then I'll just wipe it clean with a microfiber towel. And I also asked Chris how long they usually chase for at a time, and he said that over their 5-month-long storm chasing season, they usually go out for about 10 days at a time and spend equal time in each of the states in Tornado Alley, but do spend some time chasing further north and up into Canada too. Then they'll usually take about a week off here at home, which gives the atmosphere time to regenerate itself and get the next round of storms going, and then they'll head back out hoping to intercept another tornado. Now with the whole interior dressed with 303, I'll move to the outside, and one thing I didn't mention a lot about was this massive roll cage on the truck, and besides looking really cool, it definitely serves an important purpose in keeping the guys safe. And Chris was also telling me that this is the 3rd truck they've had over the past 7 years. All of them have been F-150s, and this current iteration is, in their opinion, the ultimate storm chasing vehicle. They've made some changes to it over the years, but find that this setup is heavy duty, but fast and able to get them out of trouble quick if they ever needed to. Last step before this detail is done is to get some CarPro Pearl on these tires, and the nice thing about this stuff is that it's water-based and can be diluted to your liking for more or less shine, and can also be used on plastics and leather as well. man, take a look.
It's pretty unreal.
Yeah, it's looking good again.
How's this stuff to work with?
Not bad, actually. You know what? I thought it was going to be worse.
Yeah.
Cleaned up pretty nice. Pretty easy too, so.
Wow. It's like a brand new truck.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Looking good. Just ready to get dirty again for you.
Unreal. Might take it out later this week, actually. It's like we're kind of waiting, like all the storms are firing in the Dakotas, and we just have to wait at the border for them to cross over. But like in probably 2 weeks, they'll be forming in Canada, which is good. I'll tell Greg and Ricky that I did it myself. Right the first like minute.
Knocked it on the day.
Yeah. Jeez. Well, unreal, man.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
thank you so much.
I'll give you those and
no, thank you again.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure. So.
All right. Well, thank you.
Absolutely.
Take it easy.
See ya.
It even smells amazing in here.
All right, guys, and 10 hours later, I'm done with the truck. Have to say that was my absolute favorite detail that I've ever done. It was a total pleasure getting to work on that truck today. If you guys haven't already checked out the Tornado Hunters, make sure you do. The stuff those guys do and put that truck through is absolutely unreal. I'll link their YouTube channel and their website at the top of the description. And as always, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Enjoy the guitar outro, and I'll see you guys in the next one.